Sports Radio 940 WINE, Brookfield Danbury, a Town Square media station. This is Sports Radio 940 WINE.
All right, good morning. Good morning! Welcome to Game Face. This show is year-round. 9 o'clock Eastern on Sunday mornings. And I know the audio probably sounds kind of funky here, but we have some issues going on here from a technical standpoint this morning. We're going to try to get through it the best we can. The most important thing is the actual content of this radio show, and we have lots of that. Juicy content for you this morning here on Game Face. CBS Sports Radio, 940 WINE on Classic AM in New York and Connecticut, and, of course, 940sportsradio.com. Thank you to those of you listening to us online. Cisco is here. I'm the Frat Man, and Bridget is here as well. And we're very happy that you are here. Just bear with us this morning. It's not going to be the normal Game Face because there's a lot of audio stuff that is not working for us this morning. And
no, everything here is mint.
Yeah, it's all mint condition.
Mint.
Pristine, baby, pristine.
Showroom.
But aside from the technical stuff, let me tell you what's going on here. There is so much content that we're going to pack into this hour, it's going to be difficult for you to keep up. Try your best. Here's how we start off, by announcing that LPG is on the show today. Joe, license plate guy, Rubeck, is on Game Face. I would say we're looking at about 20 to 25 minutes. Joe is going to be joining us here on the radio show. We are so looking forward to that. We had him on last week briefly. We got cut off because he was on a jet getting ready to fly. And did they actually cut down? You have to turn your own cell phone off. They don't actually disturb or interrupt your cell phone reception when you're about to take off on a plane, right?
No, I think it's on the honor system. But remember, they tried to very recently enact a law where they wanted people to talk on their cell phones on a plane. Could you imagine 300 people on a plane with their cell phones talking at the same time?
No.
A cacophony of nothing. Blah, 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 blah. Pick me up here, hubba, hubba, here, hubba, hubba, suitcase here, blah, 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 blah.
That would be the first time I ever get claustrophobia on a plane. If something like that happens.
Fortunately, this thing never saw the light of day, but please.
So, congratulations to the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. Super Bowl 49. Pretty interesting game, huh? I mean, I was like buzzing for a couple of days after that game. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Bridge?
That was a great game.
No doubt.
The huge turning point, I think it threw everybody off.
What was the turning point?
When Wilson threw the ball to Lockett and it was intercepted by Butler.
Well, that was late in the game. I mean, just overall, did you think it was the greatest Super Bowl ever played? Because now they're talking about that naturally because they have nothing else to talk about. Not close to the greatest football.
Well,
Super Bowl
it's up there.
Ever. It's up there. It is not the greatest.
Okay.
Stop.
All right. Well, it doesn't really matter. It was a great game. Yours truly predicted the final score on this show last Sunday.
You did.
To be Patriots 28, Seahawks 23.
That was pretty good. Now, here's the crazy part. Had Pete Carroll not suffered the largest brain fart in the history of the Super Bowl, the final score would have been 31-28.
Yeah.
Which was my prediction.
Are you serious?
31-27 was my prediction.
Wow.
So I would have been 1 point off, and I would have had the glee of telling you how close I was. But
well, that's still, you have some of the glee.
No, Pete Carroll, wow, dude. What, Pete?
All right, they're still talking about this play call.
Bro.
Here it is a week later.
Bro.
We didn't get to talk about it until now because we do this show Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock. And by the way, year-round. Year-freaking-round every Sunday morning. 9 o'clock a.m., we are here talking the National Football League with emphasis on the New York Giants. That's where license plate guy comes in today. But that play call, I've been immersed in so many conversations with people about that play call, and I just want to bring up one point here that a friend of mine sent me in an email. And let's dissect this here for a minute before we move on to another subject. But we do have to talk about the Super Bowl, of course, to start the show, right? I mean, it only makes sense. And I got a message for Jet fans and the New York Jet football media in New York coming up here shortly. Hang on for that. But here's this email from a buddy of mine. Because I disagree with that play call on so many levels. So many levels. And I outlined to everybody up on Facebook and a couple of other places why I disagree with the call. But
there were levels. There were multiple
levels.
Yes.
But a friend of mine sent me an email saying, Steve, you've got 26 seconds, 1 timeout, and 3 plays. If you don't pass it, you can probably only run 2 plays. So you lose an entire play. It's usually an extremely safe pass, and an incomplete stops the clock. The QB blew it, not Pete Carroll. That's what a friend of mine sent to me. Now, I'm not going to say that there's not good points there, but I still believe, as do most people, the overriding factor of why you don't use that particular play call in that scenario. Let's just start with one level. We were talking about this on multiple levels. Let's start out with one level here. The Seahawks ended up walking off the field at the end of the game with a timeout in their back pocket.
Oh, no. Are you serious?
Okay, so the fact that they left the game with a timeout in their back pocket means that they didn't use it, and it was completely wasted. I would rather you run the ball there on 2nd down, run the ball, and then have to call your timeout. And then, of course, you got no timeouts after that, so then you try to throw the ball twice.
Yes.
So you got 4 down. So you got 3 more plays to do it. Now, in that case, you would have been able to perhaps run all the plays and walk off the field with no timeouts in your back pocket, instead of having that extra timeout in your back pocket walking off the field because you threw it on 2nd down. Secondly, you have beast mode in your backfield.
Hello!
You give him the ball.
Okay, there's this old saying, dance with the girl you brought to the prom or party, something along those lines.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
How could you not give beast mode the ball in that situation? It gave me a sense of game incomplete, season unfulfilled. It was a perfect cap to probably what I can remember as the weirdest NFL season ever.
Okay, guess what? I'm going to tell you how you don't give beast mode the ball there.
Oh, Lord.
Because I do believe that's your best option. That should be number 1 on your list, give beast mode the ball. But if you're not going to give him the ball,
play action, fake him. And use the defense. Hello, play action.
Put the quarterback behind center, not telegraphing the fact that you're throwing the ball.
Bootleg him.
You got that guy in the backfield, you play action to him, and you throw the ball to somebody.
Or you have Russell Wilson, who is probably one of the most adept read option quarterbacks in the game.
3rd option.
Wow.
Run Russell Wilson.
Something.
Not only that, but they scored one of their touchdowns by putting Russell Wilson behind center and then play actioning. And wouldn't you know it, the running back, I think it was a running back, was wide open in the end zone earlier in the game. So that right there, and plus you're running a slant. Talk to me here now. Forget it's the Super Bowl. Forget there's only 20-something. Let's say that was the first quarter. That is a dangerous play right there on the goal line. I'm sorry.
Who sent you that email?
It's a friend of mine, Ben, from California.
To support his point, the throw should never be that high in that situation. It always needs to be closer to the ground where either your guy gets it or it hits the ground, or last option, it gets some freak bounce and they intercept. But to put the ball in the air in that situation with a timeout, No, I agree. Okay, let's move on to a couple of other points here. How about that Tyree-type catch by, who was it? Curse Matthews.
Curse right there towards the end of the game on that drive, taking them down there. It was a Tyree-type catch. Too bad the Seahawks were not able to capitalize on it like the Giants did, of course, in Super Bowl 42. That's interesting. Rex Ryan now, by the way, folks, as head coach of the Buffalo Bills, he now has an extra ring to kiss of Bill Belichick's. Now he has another ring to kiss. And before it's all over, he'll probably have another one that he has to kiss of Bill Belichick's. All right, couple of more quick points here. Did you see the Brady-Belichick press conferences on Monday after they won the biggest game of the year? They both sounded like they were at a funeral. Like they lost the game. Did you notice that? What is it with
That's Bill on a regular. Tom Brady's not going to give you anything. He went to the Derek Jeter school of responses. Ho, hum. You know, the platitudes, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I cannot wait to see the AFC East predictions for 2015. A message to Jets fans and the New York football media. Sorry, New England's going to win the division in 2015. Anybody that doesn't want to go ahead and, make that prediction from now, you're a loser. They are winning the AFC East again, and they're probably going to go to at least the AFC Championship again, and the New York Jets continue to look up with Patriots' ass rubbing up against their nose and their face and the utter smell of defeat. 45 years in counting, New York Jets. Yes, sir. All right, it's time for NFL Haps. The music's a little funky here this morning, that's for sure.
You should see this.
All right, license plate guy coming up on the show here. About 15, 20 minutes away from that. I don't know if you heard, Aaron Rodgers is actually blaming the turf or the grass field at Raymond James Stadium for his calf injury. It's interesting. All these players used to blame artificial turf. Now when they get hurt on grass, it's the field, man. I thought that was a result of Sue stepping on him in the playoff game. Right? Isn't that what that was? Not the grass field at Raymond James Stadium?
No, I think he had the injury going into that game, so that might have exacerbated the injury, but that's about it.
All righty then. So we'll be talking a little bit more Super Bowl today. I have a New York Giants question for New York Giants fans coming up on the show as well. We may or may not get into some free agency today because that's certainly the topic of discussion over the next couple of months. And if we don't do any of that today, we'll certainly be doing it next week for you. And then, of course, Bonehead Football Media Matters coming up here in the next segment on Game Face. I'm the Frat Man.
Cisco Reese.
And Bridget.
Bridget's here. So, all right, let's head into the break, man. Let's just go right into the break, and we'll come back here with lots on deck regarding the Bonehead Football Media in New York and nationally. The idiocy that continues to grow out there. If you're a football fan and you're watching coverage of the National Football League, wait till you hear what I got for you in the next segment. Yeah, buddy.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, first off, hope you are well. And I am. Seems like all you do is promote Geico's web and app abilities. And while I really enjoyed your last commercial where you talked about how I could take a photo of my VIN number and add it to my account all via my Geico app, I've got to think it doesn't leave you much time for anything else. Do tell. Sincerely, Miranda Morgan. Well, Miranda, thank you for asking. And this Geico spokespig does have time to do other things. For instance, I do a lot of
VIN scanning to add a car. Just a tap away on the Geico app.
Now at the Home Depot, get 10% off appliances $396 or more. So let's pick up where Santa left off. The holidays are done, but the savings on Maytag, Frigidaire, and GE are going strong. So you can cook smarter, rinse cleaner, spin faster, and right now, save bigger. Let's do this. With 10% off appliances $396 or more. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Valid through January 7th, U.S. only, while supplies last.
Imagine cramming a 4-hour radio show into one. That's Game Face. It's like pre-Big Bang stuff, or the moment before kickoff, or right before you, Anyway, back to the football. Game Face style.
All right, it's Game Face every Sunday morning, 9 o'clock Eastern, along with some issues we're having with our audio stuff here this morning. But thankfully, the microphones are working good. The phone is working good. License plate guys coming up on this show here for us in just a little bit. And we want to give a shout-out to Arthur Avenue Deli. They have 2 locations in Carmel, New York.
One of them BX over there. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Oh, you hear Richie Incognito's back in football, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's playing in Buffalo.
Anybody seen Richie?
Over there. I'm coming back. Until somebody remembers seeing Richie.
All right, listen. Let's talk bonehead football media, specifically New York radio. This is Game Face, CBS Sports Radio, 940 WINE on Classic AM.
Mike Francesa.
Let's start out here with Giants fans. Listen to me really carefully here this morning, all right? Because you're gonna call in and comment on this, or you're gonna post comments about this stuff on Facebook, or you're gonna call into the radio stations and let these guys have it for their boneheadedness. Like Craig Carton. First of all, I don't understand a good 40% of what that guy says.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends.
That guy's got a lot of nerve.
I sure have 90 marbles in my mouth when I'm a little tired from the night. All right, Boomer.
That's a good imitation right
Thank
there.
you. Not as good as your Beningo. That is awesome.
All right, so, Carton, you got a lot of nerve, Carton. You are on the supposed flagship station of the New York Giants in New York, a station where you hear way more Jets than you do Giants.
Way more!
How do Giants fans feel about that, really? How do you feel about that? But in addition to having a lot of nerve, Carton, you also have a lot of stupidity. The New York Giants were lucky to win 2 Super Bowls, according to Craig Carton. I heard him say this a couple weeks ago.
Twice.
Lucky to win 2 Super Bowls.
Twice.
Idiotic on so many levels, I don't even know where to begin. But to say something like that as the morning show host on the New York Giants station in New York City is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And he doesn't think, of course, that Eli's a good quarterback.
He's not. He's great.
Yes. Continuing with our WFAN assault, which is well-deserved, this is how clueless radio is as a whole. Francesa's Football Sunday, this past Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday.
Put mustard on it.
Right at the end of the show, here's what he does. All right, everybody, bye-bye. This is our final show. We'll see you in September. No more NFL, no more Giants on the radio for the next 6 months. See you later. And sure enough, I swear to God, that's what he said. He said goodbye to everybody. No more football on this radio station, at least as far as he's concerned.
Did he do it with...
Okay? So it only took 2 days after the Super Bowl, and it was 98% baseball on that radio station.
Hot stove.
98% baseball for the next 5 months. Now, are you going to tell me that in a sport that is as popular as the NFL, according to the ratings and all the other numbers, far exceeds any other sport.
Ratings, schmatings.
Okay, but here's New York radio, and this is radio as a whole. I've been in the business for 30 years. Here's New York radio saying, we're going to ignore the most popular sport in America for the next 4 or 5 months. Maybe we'll throw in a tiny bit here and there, but really for the most part, 2% of your broadcast is going to be football for the next 5 months. Are you telling me that there is no room for a consistent, regular football show that you can count on at least one day a week like Game Face in New York City, the number one radio market in the world with all those Giants fans down there? Are you telling me there's no room for something like that on either one of those supposed 24/7 sports stations? Are you freaking kidding me?
I smell a quitter.
Cricket.
Good point, Rich.
Cricket.
This is how clueless radio is. This is how clueless WFAN is.
Did he sound like he wanted to be at work?
Because I'm really tired of my friends. Who's this calling? Bill from Seaside. What do you want, schmuck? What?
Okay, I'm just getting started here.
I'm the sports pope. I know everything.
Yeah.
It's all baseball.
I'm just getting started here. Let's continue.
Put mustard on it.
I know you're going to like this stuff, Cisco.
I like
you're
mustard.
really going to like this. The New York Post ran a piece before the Super Bowl that the new Jets general manager is trying to mend a rift with Mike Francesa.
I'm the sports pope. You should all genuflect in front of me over here. I'm Mikey Francesa.
Now, here's how boneheaded this is
I
on
said
multiple multiple levels.
Before the
He's so clueless about football, it's not even funny, man.
The New York Post is doing a piece saying that the new general manager of the Jets is trying to mend a rift with Mike Francesa. First of all, this is a Giants radio station, number one.
It is?
So if there's a rift with the other team, who cares? That's number one. Number two, who the heck is Mike Francesa that the new general manager of the New York Jets is trying to mend a rift with him? As soon as he's just barely hired.
I just said I'm the sports pope.
Okay?
What, are you not listening?
Jets fans, if there's any of you listening to the show, if I were you, I would be appalled if the new general manager's priority is to mend a rift with a freaking bonehead who talks baseball 98% of the time he's on the air.
All right, here's the
on a Giant station.
Here's the McMahon.
The Jets haven't won anything in 45 freaking years, so they hire a new general manager. Oh, but top of my priority list, I got to mend a rift with Mike Francesa. I'm not going to try to get this team better. They haven't won anything in 45 years. I'm going to try to mend a rift with Mike Francesa.
Money, 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 money.
Ha! Money!
You think?
So here's one of the things Francesa interviewed the new general manager of the Jets. They don't love me over there.
Sorry, what?
Those were his words to the new GM. They don't love me over there. Now look, I know a lot of people think Mike Francesa is God when it comes to sports radio.
No, he's the sports pope.
He's a very...
Come on, Bo.
And I've told him this on the air. He's a very intelligent man, highly illogical, and misplaced. Priorities are all screwed up. He spends 2% of his airtime within a given year talking the New York Giants. That is screwed up. Now, here's the bottom line here with this. This piece that I've been talking about in the New York Post was written by Brian Lewis, and it was incorrect and misguided. The new general manager of the New York Jets was not trying to mend a rift. He just simply invited Francesa over to the Jets facilities for lunch one day in the near future. That's it. Does that mean he's making it his priority to mend a rift with Mike Francesa? No, I don't think so. So here's the bonehead football media getting it wrong again. Mike Francesa and Paulie Schwartz of the New York Post.
May the Schwartz be with you.
2 days before Steve Spagnuolo was hired as as defensive coordinator of the New York Giants. 2 days. And here they both are on the radio. Well, who would want to come over and take that job?
I can't see anybody would want to come over and take the defensive coordinator job. Not with Tom Coughlin as a lame duck.
Wow. I continue to be in disbelief over how idiotic you people are who cover football in New York. Just amazing. Here's another Mike Francesa. Another idiocy. You ready for this? Deflategate. He was talking about Deflategate. He stated that the Patriots should be docked a draft pick for the whole Deflategate thing, and the draft pick should be given to the Colts.
Okay, why? Why?
So really what he's saying is that every other team in the same division as the Colts, and really the rest of the NFL to some extent, because the Colts play other teams outside their division during the year, you want those other teams to pay a price for the Colts getting an extra draft pick.
But it was the Colts that caught them, so obviously the sports pope is saying that in some weird karmic balance kind of way, it's the Colts that should get the Patriots.
But if you give the Colts that extra pick, then every other team who plays the Colts suffers as a result. How idiotic is that as a suggestion by Mike Francesa?
I'm the sports pope. Don't talk to me like that. Genuflect. Okay?
All right, here we go. We got a Beningo piece for you.
Over there. How about that, pal?
How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
Bro, no doubt about it.
Beningo said on the air the other day that Eli's last 2 seasons have not been that good. That's what he said.
He was half right.
He was half right.
He was half right.
Yeah, and half bonehead. Half right, half bonehead. His last 2 seasons have not been that good. Hey, statistically, Eli had probably his best season last year. Well, I take that away. The 2011 season, he carried the team to a championship. You guys in the national NFL media who never give him any credit for anything. That's another interesting talk. All leading up to the Super Bowl, he talks about great quarterbacks and great teams and all the great stuff that has happened in Super Bowl history. Not one discussion about Eli Manning. Not one. Didn't hear anything.
I wish for once that Eli would do something controversial. Again, say he's elite, something to that effect. Something. Just give them something to talk about. Negative. Not like the NFL Network. You turn it on. You know who the top 2 free agents are, right? According to the NFL Network. Come on. This shouldn't be hard.
Oh, Dez?
Dez was number 1, pal. And who was number 2?
Dez?
Dez can't be both, buddy.
Dez.
DeMarco.
Dez.
That's the way the New York...
Dez and DeMarco were the top 2 free agents.
Yes, of course.
This year.
The national football media calls him Dez.
They can't help themselves.
They're on a first-name basis. Dez. You like the way I say that, Bridge?
You sound like Stewie. It's really starting to freak me out.
What? Dez.
Yes, really like Stewie.
When these dweebs on the NFL Network or ESPN or bring them up, it's like,
Dez. Well, Dez said.
It's like our BFF, man.
Dez.
Hey, I want to give a shout-out to McGurk. Imus's morning show producer. Yeah, buddy. I hate the sports media. They're a bunch of wussies. I heard him say that on Fox News.
I'm looking for this clip. I can't find it.
We're going to find it, and we're going to play it on the show at some point here in the near future. All right, license plate guy. Joey, the license plate guy. Love that guy, man. He is here on Game Face in mere moments.
The Gym Source Midnight Madness sale is here. Hey everybody, this is Ron from Gym Source. On Friday, February 27th, all the Connecticut stores are having our once a year, one day a year Midnight Madness sale. We stay open until midnight because extra hours for us means extra savings for you. Today's hottest machines will be 20 to 50% off, like the Octane Zero Runner, the GSX Treadmill Series, and the Cybex Arc Trainer. Plus, you'll get special financing and warranty extensions. So visit any of our convenient Connecticut locations in Brookfield, Westport, Stamford, or Greenwich on Friday, February 27th, and enjoy huge discounts on everything in the store. Our customers know about this sale and look forward to it every year. Come see what they're talking about. Midnight Madness Sale, February 27th. See you there.
It's the Gym Source Midnight Madness Sale. Friday, February 27th in Brookfield, Westport, Stamford, and Greenwich. For more information on this local expert, click on 940sportsradio.com.
Now at the Home Depot, get 10% off appliances $396 or more. So let's pick up where Santa left off. The holidays are done, but the savings on Maytag, Frigidaire, and GE are going strong. So you can cook smarter, rinse cleaner, spin faster, and right now, save bigger. Let's do this. With 10% off appliances $396 or more. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Valid through January 7th, U.S. only, while supplies last.
Hey, it's Brandon Tierney. You're hanging out with the Frat Man and Cisco. It's Game Face on your home for CBS Sports. Sports Radio 940 WINE and online at 940sportsradio.com. All right, boys, it's all you.
It's all us. That's right, 9 o'clock Eastern, every Sunday morning. This football show is year-round, boys and girls. Thank you so much for being here with us. Stones, huh? Hey, we got a great Facebook page if you haven't been there yet. Facebook.com/GameFaceRadio. The show does not sound as tight as it normally does because we're having audio problems this morning with the music. But Cisco's doing a great job as somebody who is figuring out a backup plan here. The music is better than none.
Psst, we're on Twitter, too.
That's right. We are on Twitter. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about that, Bridge?
You guys can find us on Twitter. Tweet at us at CBS Gameface. At CBS Gameface. We're new to Twitter, so help us out.
Yeah. All right. Evolution Fitness, Route 6 in Malpac. Good place to go work out and build up a sweat. They're in Putnam County. It's Cisco, the Frat Man, and Bridge, and license plate guy is here on the show. Joe.
What's going on, fellas? Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, buddy. We had you on briefly last week. Let me tell you, even though we were cut off and we didn't get to finish our conversation with you, I loved that segment, man, because the fact that you were talking to us as you were boarding a plane, and then we can hear the stewardess in the background doing what she normally does before a plane takes off, and you're still on the phone talking to us. I mean,
I got to tell you, that the worst part about that is don't tell me you're not one of those guys that looks at the guy or the girl that's talking on the phone like, look at this freaking person.
Oh, how many of those did you get? How many of those?
That was me. That was me. I was like, great, I'm getting all the eyes right now, too. Oh, well.
Nice. Too bad. So sad.
Well, welcome back to Game Face. We're very happy to have you. There's so much to talk about with you. You're with us for the rest of the show, I hope.
I'm with you. Let's go all the way to next Sunday. Let's do it for the whole week. Let's go.
Yeah, buddy. Make sure you spread the word for us, LPG. We love it, man.
Hey, I love the show. Anything to help out. So let's rock and roll. I love that this is the 365 days football. I love it. Let's go.
Yeah, buddy. That's right. Now, can you believe that you can you think of a time and a day that you can tune in to FAN or ESPN radio in New York and you know you're going to hear the National Football League?
No, it's definitely disturbing, but that's for football lovers like us. I mean, you know, you have all those sports out there that are bound to be spoken about. You know, unfortunately, I got to turn a channel when there's something golf or this and that, but that's just me. I just want to hear football, so I'm basically turning into you. So
yeah, buddy. So you got to tell us, how did the whole license plate thing, how many plates are you wearing around your neck every game?
Yeah, it's funny. Now, I'm up to like 35.
What?
And again, guys, it's really just a a typical fan story. When I turned 16, my dad and my mom were like, you should get specialized Giant plates. It wasn't even, it was my idea. They know how much I love the Giants. And sure enough, my mom took me over to motor vehicles, and, I tried to get Giants, but it was taken. I was devastated. And it was actually my mom's idea to go G1 Ants, and that's the plate I have to this day.
The one that
is on my car to this day. I was 16 years old when I got it.
That's a great story, man. And the license plate that I happen to love the most that you wear?
It's Hate Dallas.
Yes, sir.
That's a given.
Yes, sir. I lived.
It's one of my favorites as well. Just H8 Dallas. It's one of my favorite plates.
I lived in Dallas for 9 years doing radio. I did radio down there. And can you believe people actually ask me, wait a second, you lived down there for that long and you never became a Cowboys fan? That's the question I get from people. And are you kidding me? I hate them more after living down there for 9 years.
How could you not?
Yeah. You know what? I can't imagine what it would be like, though. And I'm not going to tell you that I wouldn't like to, because I probably would, to be in a place where you're just surrounded by one team. I mean, listen, I'm a diehard New York Giants fan, but I'm with Jet fans. I'm with Buffalo Bill fans. I mean, we live in New York. We share. Could you imagine being in a place where you only had one football team to root for? That'd be kind of cool, And I'm not talking about Houston. I'm just talking about a huge place like Dallas. I just would wonder what it would be like to be a fan of one team like that, one state.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what. The entire 9 years I was there, and then 2 subsequent years after I moved, I went back. I went to 11 straight Giants games in Texas Stadium, decked out in all my Giants gear with about 10 of my buddies each time, rooting for the G-men in that stadium.
You gotta. Hey, listen, it's one of my. If you don't know, and I'm sure you're talking about the old stadium as well, but if you haven't been there, in the past X amount of years, that is by far the best stadium I have ever seen in my life.
What is?
The Dallas Stadium right now.
Oh, the new one in Arlington.
It's unbelievable. I mean, and listen, I love it because we win there. But it's literally the nicest thing I've ever seen in my life. And you could the hell with the team, and you already know how I feel about Dallas, and it's disgusting, and I hate the team, and I hate everything about them, and Romo stinks, and I hope he stays on forever, and I hope Jerry lives till 200 years old. But that stadium is awesome.
All right, let's talk Giants here now.
I like strippers, too.
Yeah, they have stripper poles in the stadium, yeah. That is a big stripper club city, by the way, Dallas, Texas. Probably the second biggest.
The biggest. No, the
second biggest. No, I think Tampa's got it beat. Tampa has it beat. All right, G-Men. So here we are, off-season upon us. Free agency's coming up. The draft is coming up. The Giants are going to try to shape this team to go on what has been a 4-year cycle of Super Bowl runs for Tom Coughlin and Eli Manning. Let's see if this is year number 4 coming up. I know it's probably wishful thinking to think that they're going to end up in San Francisco for the big game at the end of next season. But what do you think the Giants got to do to put it together this year?
I really believe that it starts, obviously, with that O-line. And as many people out there that are thinking they have to totally revamp, they're wrong. I mean, we have some pieces right now, and we have a lot of players that were playing out of position that I'm telling you, once you fix 1 or 2 spots and free agency might fix another spot, I really don't believe that draft is going to be lineman filled. I really don't. It's going to start in free agency before it starts in a draft, and I believe a lot of things are going to be addressed.
In free agency?
I do. I think free agency is where it begins. You hear that you have to build a team and through your draft pick and this and that. I don't agree with that. I really don't. I think that it's going to be addressed in free agency. I don't believe the Giants are going to go to lineman as their first pick. And we'll see where it goes from there.
All right.
I could be wrong. It's one man's opinion.
You're going against conventional wisdom right now. Cisco, what do you think they're going to do? I know you like Iapati.
I do, but he is suspect in pass coverage. He is not the most fleet of foot in pass coverage. Seen him get beat a few times in the center of San Francisco's offensive line. This is the draft.
I do like him too, though.
I do like him for the run game, and if we can get him solidified with the run game, I appreciate what you're saying about free agency. But this has to be one of those situations where we are grooming our next left tackle because Beatty, for all his woes, is also 30 years old. So he's not going to be playing out there for much longer. They've already decided to pay him. Can't take the cap hit by cutting him. I say move him over to right tackle.
Yes.
Kick Pugh inside, because I see Pugh as more of a natural guard in the Snee mold. Tactical,
so now
strong.
you're going on exactly what I'm talking about, and that's what I meant by out of position. Now, look, I don't care what they decide to do and whose feelings that they're going to get hurt. And Pugh, whether he wants to move or not want to move. But yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And then you put my man over at center, and I believe that you really have, you see what I'm saying, by one person, a left tackle, and here you are shifting 3-4 spots on that line. And I'm telling you, it's in free agency, one left tackle pick, you move things around, and you have a solid line.
License plate guy is here on Game Face. We're going to break for a moment and come back with him and talk more G-Men right here on the only year-round NFL show, Game Face, 940sportsradio.com.
Do you experience loss of urine while sneezing? Do you avoid picking up your child for fear of embarrassing or uncomfortable leaking? Many women aren't aware that pelvic disorders can be treated. Dr. Kenneth Blau at Women's Health Associates is the area's only board-certified urogynecologist. His expertise and extensive experience means you'll be able to pick up your child, laugh, jog, all without leaking. Call Dr. Kenneth Blau at Women's Health Associates in Danbury and Southbury and stop suffering in silence. Find this local expert on 940sportsradio.com.
Hey, sports fans, listen up. You can meet some legends at the Connecticut Man Show. It's Sunday, February 22nd, going from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the O'Neill Center in Danbury. Former New York Yankee great Joe Pepitone is going to be there. And current New York Giants running back Andre Williams will be there signing autographs, courtesy of JP Sports and Rock Solid Promotions. And the Tiger's Den Sports Bar and Grill. Meet a couple of Super Bowl champion New England Patriots cheerleaders. And hockey fans, West Coast Sports Center is proud to bring you the New York Rangers Road Tour. There'll be food, beer. You can win some great prizes and check out some of the latest manly gear. Plus, it's free admission. That's right, free admission. The Connecticut Man Show. It's brought to you by Interstate All Battery Center and Hog Wild Barbecue. That's Sunday, February 22nd, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the O'Neill Center on WestConn's West Side campus. For more info, go to 940sportsradio.com.
Now at the Home Depot, get 10% off appliances $396 or more. So let's pick up where Santa left off. The holidays are done, but the savings on Maytag, Frigidaire, and GE are going strong. So you can cook smarter, rinse cleaner, spin faster, and right now, save bigger. Let's do this. With 10% off appliances $396 or more. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Valid through January 7th, U.S. only, while supplies last.
The only sports show that rags on other sports shows. Game Face with the Frat Man. Hit it. This is Sports Radio 940 WINE.
All right, this is Game Face. Sunday mornings, 9 o'clock Eastern, year freaking round. We thank you for joining us. Those of you listening to us online, 940sportsradio.com, thank you very much. Fratman, Cisco, and Bridget, and license plate guy Joe Ruback on the show here this morning. We're talking G-Men. So we were talking the offensive line in the last segment, Joe. Now let's switch gears over to the defensive line. It's looking more and more like the Giants are going to franchise tag JPP. What are your thoughts on him coming back?
That's exactly how I thought it was going to pan out. I believe that either they work something out or they franchise him. I'm not going to be happy with that, but, oh well. If, in fact, they decide not to go that route for some reason, Ooh, and I would love to see that Baylor defensive end with Oakman. Oh, my goodness.
Who?
Can you imagine if he comes to the Giants?
Who are you talking about?
Sean Oakman.
Who is that?
The
From
Baylor
where?
defensive end. He's a beast. He's an absolute beast.
Brandon Graham is also a free
Brandon
agent.
Graham, yeah, absolutely.
All right, now let me ask you a question, LPG, very quickly. Are you really believing the hype on JPP and the late season sacks and the fact that he was absolutely invisible during the top tier tackles? I mean, Tyron Smith owned him during the Dallas games. Got a couple sacks in garbage time. I don't see the performance there from JPP. I just don't.
He was double teamed a lot as well. Look at the tapes and this and that. He still brings it. He still has that fire. He's still a presence. You still have to account for him when you break that huddle. I'm not one that just gets rid of a player just because that little bit of shine happens to be gone. He's still a presence, and I want him back. I mean, I want him back as much as I want Roll back. So.
Well, I'm more in agreement with you than I am with Cisco on that one for three reasons. One of them is he's still only 26 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, he was very good against the run, which you need, especially since Linval Joseph is now gone. And number three, Steve Spagnuolo is back as defensive coordinator. I can't wait to see what he does with JPP.
I don't think the Linval Joseph thing applies. He's a tackle. JPP plays on the outside.
But he was a great tackle against the run.
What I would like him to do, or would like the Giants to do, is move him to the left defensive end slot where he's going up against right tackles. He gets owned by the left tackles. Premier left tackles have their way with him. He doesn't have a spin move. He doesn't have a hard move. He doesn't have a
moving
rip.
him around. Go ahead. Let him go on both sides. I mean, listen, I happen to think that this is going to be a phenomenal year for DeMontre Moore. I think if DeMontre puts it together and gets serious in the weight room and gets serious about practice, I really believe that he'll be able to shine in there.
Here's the guy that I want the Giants to re-sign here during free agency more than any other player, and his name is Walter Thurmond III. Because we didn't get a chance to see him play last year. I want that guy on my football team.
I thought he was under for two.
I also want him, and it's too bad that Giants fans didn't get to see a lot more of him due to the injury. But he is something else. I do want him to be back, and him, a healthy Prince on a corner, Antrell back. Who knows? I mean, this time last year, when free agency happened a month from now or whatever, and we were talking about how many defensive players that we got and how many defensive backs, and now you're not going to be able to throw on us. And then, of course, the injury bug hit. We didn't get really a chance to see everything put into place.
Yeah, good point.
Free agency also, let's just touch on the defensive side. You know, I really would like to see who's a very underrated football player, and he gets the dreaded high motor tag because he's white. You ever notice that? All white defensive ends are high motor guys. Yeah. I've never really understood that.
Tenacious!
They're high motor guys. Ryan Kerrigan from the Washington Redskins seems to be lost in a sea of nothingness on the defensive side. He is a good football player.
Yeah, he's
very much like to see.
Football player, actually.
Very good.
I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't mind him at all.
Would you take him? Wait, now, just hear me out. Would you take him, sign him, franchise JPP, and put JPP basically on the pay for performance?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm hip on that.
Yeah, I would as well. You're also not giving a lot of credit to Ayers, or even Wynn, who came through at the end of the season.
No, they played beautifly. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them.
The Giants, you talk about the 80s and known for linebackers, and, we'll always be known for that due to our crunch bunch and this and that. But I got to tell you, we're also known for defensive ends, and we're not lacking them. So, yes, I came through with the name of Sean Oakman. I actually think he's staying at Baylor anyway, but you always want that next player to come off the corner and just wreak havoc.
Yeah, no doubt. I think Kerry Wynn and Ayers are going to be two very good players for Steve Spagnuolo in that defense.
So does that hurt us with trying to franchise or give extensive amounts of money to JPP because of what we're talking about? I mean, do you think Jerry Reese is sitting there saying the same thing like, hey, wait a minute, license plate guy, frat man, and everybody, you guys are sitting here talking about 5-6 players. Do we need to spend all that money on JPP? So it's going to be, I mean, there's a lot of questions. I just love to know the answers right now.
Yeah. What do you think, Bridge?
Bridge?
Hello?
Bridge?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're
Hi,
here.
I'm here.
I figured I'd catch you off guard there for a second.
You did.
You can't forget about Bridge. Sorry, Bridge, if I forgot about you as well.
That's okay.
That's all right. She's a 49ers.
My fault right there.
She's a 49ers fan, so that's
she's
okay.
Like, Giants.
Hey, listen, Bridge, we all have our faults. It's okay.
All right, real quick before we head into the break here, license plate guy, tell us who your all-time favorite New York Giants quarterback is.
Oh, man, that's I don't know, somebody to choose from. Pasarchek, Morton, I don't know.
Pasarchek.
I don't know, you put me in a position. Listen, I grew up, you know, with the same hair as Phil Simms, and he led us to our first Super Bowl. But I can't go against Eli Manning. He is my all-time favorite quarterback, and there are just several reasons. I think the way he carries himself, the way he leads us to championships, the way he takes absolutely tons of punishment. And I'm not talking about on the field, I'm talking about off the field.
Yeah.
He just gets crushed left and right. He doesn't even care. The guy pays no attention to it. He gets no love. And even Giant fans, you know, some that are illiterate will crush him as well. But he is incredible. I will take him any day and twice on Sundays.
Yeah, and listen, if it wasn't for Brian Williams being on the field for that play in Super Bowl 42, he tipped the ball to David Tyree in that play.
That's not how it went. Brian Williams said that he actually hung out with us last night. Yeah, he was with us last night. At Scores.
All right.
Let me tell you something. For a second, I'm like, Brian Williams, and I'm like, yeah, he is all over the place when he landed on the moon.
Yeah.
When he did this, what he did. Listen, he's up on my man. I like him.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's at the OK Corral. All right, license plate guy coming back with us to wrap up the show here, Game Face.
Here's a special announcement for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. Now, there's hope. The Internal Revenue Service has extraordinary programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. Call the 911 Tax Relief Helpline that has been set up to help you. 800-549-5126. Stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens now. Once you've qualified and enrolled, the IRS will halt all collection activities against you. These unique programs have been allocated to help the economy and significantly reduce or eliminate your tax burden. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. For free information and to see if you qualify, take down the number now for the Tax Relief Helpline. 800-549-5126. 800-549-5126. That's 800-549-5126.
Now at the Home Depot, get 10% off appliances $396 or more. So let's pick up where Santa left off. The holidays are done, but the savings on Maytag, Frigidaire, and GE are going strong. So you can cook smarter, rinse cleaner, spin faster, and right now, save bigger. Let's do this. With 10% off appliances $396 or more. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Valid through January 7th, U.S. only, while supplies last.
Set, hike. Just snap the damn ball. Go, Frat Man, go. Back to Game Face.
All right, we are here. We're here talking the NFL, baby. Every Sunday morning, 9 o'clock Eastern. The music sounds funky this morning because we have audio problems this morning. What are you going to do, huh? Still a great show regardless. We're here talking the National Football League every Sunday, 9 o'clock Eastern, year-round. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/GameFaceRadio. It'd be awesome if you could go up there and like us. We have license plate guy here. We got about 5 minutes of discussion left, and I got 2 subjects to fill up the whole 5 minutes. License plate guy. Here's my question for you and Giants fans. And you know what? If Bert is listening, which I know he probably is, D-Man. Bert D-Man Bennett, Bert, maybe you can start a thread up on Facebook with this question. Bridge, you can shout this out here on Twitter. Here's my question for Giants fans this morning, because I was having a tough time with answering this the other day when I was talking to a buddy of mine about it. Plaxico Burress had that great NFC Championship game against the Packers.
Schooled Al Harris.
Scored the winning touchdown in Super Bowl 42. And then here we are the following year on our way to perhaps 2 straight Super Bowls, and the idiot shoots himself in the leg. My question is, how do you, license plate guy, feel about Plaxico Burress now that all this time has passed? On one hand, you think about what he did during that 2007 run. On the other hand, you think about what he did in 2008. So how do you feel about him?
I mean, you're first of all, you're talking to a homer right here. So, me talking about a Giant in a bad way is probably never going to happen. That's just keeping it real. But, that's like saying, in a relationship with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, a year later you break up, was it entirely a waste of time? And I just don't agree with that. You shared great times. He single-handedly won you that Green Bay game. Thank you, Times. But he single-handedly won you that game and on to the Super Bowl on that catch. Crap happens, and I was devastated. But you can't tell me, as much as I sit here and tell you that, he won that game for us in Green Bay. You mean to tell me he was the sole reason for the downfall the next year? We were on fire. I'll give you that. It hurt us. I'll give you that. But I love Plax, and I love everything he did for the Giants.
Yeah.
Except, obviously, that.
Yes. Okay. Listen, let's go back to what we normally do in segment 2 and talk about the bonehead football media here to wrap up the show. And we got to keep the responses kind of quick here because we're up against the clock. But it only took 2 days before the national football media starts hopping on the Dallas bandwagon, and here we are on ESPN 2 days after the Super Bowl, and they're doing this segment called The Missing Pieces. Which teams that made the playoffs this past season have the best chance to go all the way in 2015?
Let me guess.
Who do you think was number 1 on that list?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Here's the whole list now. Here's the whole list. Philadelphia was number 5. Too bad they didn't make the playoffs, so ESPN screwed up there. Number 4 on the list was Green Bay. 3 was Denver. 2 was Baltimore. And 1 is Dallas. And then if you look at the power rankings that are out everywhere now, Dallas is like 1 on some of them, 2 on others. So, yeah, they got a better chance of going to the Super Bowl next year than the Baltimore Ravens or the Green Bay Packers, right?
I love it.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Listen, you're not used to that already? You're not used to Dallas and Philly winning the Super Bowls every single year? Pre-season. I mean, come on. I absolutely love that. And I love that the Giants get no credit, no nothing. They're the worst team in the league. Blah blah blah. They win it every 4 years, but don't give us any credit. I love that. I will continue to love how the media puts Dallas and the Eagles up front. Let them continue to do it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you heard this. My theory, real quick here, has been that every year for the past 10 years, the media has been hyping up the Dallas Cowboys, and they end up finishing 8-8. This past season, the one-off season, that the football media was like, they're not going to do any better than 4-12, and here they are in the playoffs. So now they're building them back up again.
They need to be very happy that they're talking about Super Bowl champions next year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and make my 8-8 jersey right now.
That's probably what they're going to... Hey, they had their opportunity this past season. It's all over, baby. She-gals. She-gals.
The worst part about it, and Dallas fans hate this, hey, I thought it was a catch, too. Oh, well.
Yeah, well, it was a catch, but not according to the stupid rules that the NFL has. No catch.
Those rules.
All right. License plate guy, Joe Ruback, here on the show. We thank you for being a part of Game Face, buddy. Love it, love it, love it.
Love you guys. Thanks for everything. And Bridget, thank you for everything.
No problem.
All right, let's wrap it up here. It is Game Face every Sunday, 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll see you next week.
I did this with a media player.
We are your home for CBS Sports Radio.